Here is sitting south of Cuba, but the effects all the way into Florida. Nicole Mitchell has more.
Miles per hour expected for today. For tonight, it's pretty much the same thing. Tropical storm conditions still around, cloudy skies, showers likely. Winds out of the southeast 25 to 30 miles per hour with gusts to 40 for tonight. Chance of rain 60%. On the water for the boaters, stay in port. Tropical storm conditions out there. Winds southeast 30 to 40 knots with gusts around 50. Seas running offshore 11 to 15 feet. Your near-shore waters, needless to say, very, very rough. That is the latest check on your forecast from the sun. Classic rock for the Keys.
Stronger squalls with the passage of Hurricane Ike this afternoon and early tonight. Atlantic storm sides of 2 to 3 feet are expected mainly in the lower Keys. Storm size 4 feet is possible in the vicinity of Key West near the time of high tide late this afternoon and early this evening. And additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible across the Florida Keys this afternoon into tonight. For the latest information on Hurricane Ike, stay tuned to your local radio station.
Hurricane, 120 to 140 mile an hour sustained winds before then eventually turning westward and moving towards New Braunfels, Texas at sunset time. That's all. I want to be especially
Henry got mud on him. Look at the waves over there. Shoot. Look at that.
For the latest information on Hurricane Ike, stay tuned to your local radio station. And I've been seeing wind gusts along the way as high as 75 miles per hour. Wind gusts in the lower Keys have been 50 to 55 miles per hour with a maximum of 58 miles per hour so far here at the Weather Service. The worst conditions with Ike should occur from now through this afternoon, and gradual improvement should begin this evening. But before then, outer rain bands will impact the Florida Keys, and the strongest will produce wind gusts near 65 miles per hour across portions of the Keys. And isolated tornadoes are also possible associated with the stronger squalls with the passage of Hurricane Ike this afternoon and early tonight.
We're seeing the re-emergence of Hurricane Ike out over open water of the Gulf of Mexico. It's just beginning to make that move as it moves off the western coast of Cuba. It still has 75-mile-an-hour winds in the center, a Category 1 hurricane as of the 5-feet advisory. The location of the center is 90 miles west-southwest of Havana. And as it moves toward the west-northwest now, a little bit slower pace, often slowed down due to this mountainous terrain that it's been trying to pass over. It will continue on this mostly westward track toward the Gulf and then eventually toward the coast of Texas or northern Mexico. Here around western Cuba, continuing to see torrential rain. Havana has seen steady rainfall all day long, as has the Florida Keys the better part of the day, and rain and thunderstorms reaching all the way up now toward the Tampa Bay area. So far northern reaches of Hurricane Ike in these outer rain bands. We'll see improving conditions around the Keys as we get into late tomorrow and Thursday, and probably a chance for the residents who have been evacuated to get back home to their residence and just hopefully get settled down again. But the winds and rain will continue through most of tomorrow. Cuba, most of the western portion is still under hurricane warning.
Who you voting for? Who you voting for?
Those hurricane force winds extending about 75 miles outside the center of Ike. Tropical storm force winds about 175 miles outside. And just in the last couple of hours, we've seen those hurricane force winds as far north as the Florida Keys. Here's the path of Ike, taking it all the way through the week over the warm Gulf waters, and then by week's end on into Saturday. Looks like
man.
early Saturday we'll see a landfall somewhere along the South Texas shoreline.
Just District 6.
or
The southernmost
northern
city
portions of
commissioner.
Mexico. Keep an eye on this one. Looking out in the Atlantic, nothing else, fortunately, we need to be concerned about. The remnants of Josephine have now dissipated and no longer show any signs of emergence. But we do have a tropical storm here in the Pacific. This is Lowell, and expected to make landfall eventually, probably here along the coast of Baja California later on this week, maybe as a minimal tropical storm or as a tropical depression.
Across the Florida Keys this afternoon into tonight. For the latest information on Hurricane Ike, stay tuned to your local radio station.
Told you.
Should occur from now through this afternoon, and gradual improvement should begin this evening. But before then, outer rain bands will impact the Florida Keys, and the strongest produce wind gusts near 65 miles per hour across portions of the Keys, and isolated tornadoes are also possible associated with the stronger squalls with the passage of Hurricane Ike this afternoon and early tonight. Atlantic storm tides of 2 to 3 feet are expected, mainly in the lower Keys. A storm tide of 4 feet is possible in the vicinity of Key West near the time of high tide late this afternoon and early this evening, and an additional rainfall amount of 1 to 2 inches is possible across the Florida Keys this afternoon into tonight. For the latest information on Hurricane Ike, stay tuned to your local radio station.
Miles per hour expected for today. For tonight, it's pretty much the same thing. Tropical storm conditions still around, cloudy skies, showers likely. Winds out of the southeast 25 to 30 miles per hour with gusts of 40 for tonight. Chance of rain 60%. On the water for the boaters, stay in port. Tropical storm conditions out there. Winds southeast 30 to 40 knots with gusts around 50. Seas running offshore 11 to 15 feet. Your near-shore waters, needless to say, very, very rough. That is the latest check on your forecast from the sun. Classic rock for the Keys.
Stronger squalls with the passage of Hurricane Ike this afternoon and early tonight. Atlantic storm tides of 2 to 3 feet are expected, mainly in the lower Keys. A storm tide of 4 feet is possible in the vicinity of Key West near the time of high tide late this afternoon and early this evening. An additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches of